Every time you write my words, I do wanna say it's you, my babe.
Hey guys, my name is Em and welcome back to the start of a brand new reading vlog. Today's video is going to be a weekend reading vlog. I'm so excited to get cozy and read as much as I possibly can this weekend and take you all along with me, of course. I'm currently reading 3 books and I would like to finish at least 2 of those. I don't know if I'll be able to finish the third because it's a 500-page fantasy book, but I'm going to show you the 3 books right now that I'm currently reading and then we'll just get into reading and see which ones I'm going to be able to finish. So the first book that I'm currently reading is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter. This book is fun. This is like a YA summer romance where their whole family goes to Martha's Vineyard for the summer every year. She didn't go last year because 18 months ago she lost her sister and she just didn't really want to go, but one of her cousins is getting married, so like all of their family and like extended family and the groom side of the family and like everybody is going to Martha's Vineyard for the wedding. And then while they're there they decide to continue a tradition where they play a game of assassin and like every single person takes part. They all have water guns and they all have like a target and they play assassin basically over this whole like island resort. I actually know nothing about Martha's Vineyard, but wherever they are, all of their friends and family and extended friends and family play this game, which honestly just sounds so fun. I started this book at the beach and I'm currently on page 164. It's good. I am liking it. I think it's really fun, but not sure if I'm 100% obsessed with it or anything, so I think I may pause this one until it's like a bit sunny outside and then I can read it outside. I don't know why, but this book feels like it needs to be read outside to get like the full experience. That sounds so silly, but yeah, so as soon as it's sunny I will try to finish this book, but it is a very fast read, so I should be able to finish this weekend for sure. Then the second book that I'm currently reading is a book that I said that I would never read. It's a book that I said, no, I will not like this book, I will never read this book, yet here I am reading this book, and that book is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I don't know why I convinced myself that I would hate this book, and I mean, bearing in mind I've not finished it, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it in the end, but as of right now I'm really liking this book. I literally bought this book yesterday afternoon and I came home and I started it immediately and I read 94 pages yesterday. It's quite easy to read, it's quite easy to fly through, and also I know nothing about this. Like, I don't know anything about how it's gonna end. I didn't know what this book was about. Like, I don't know how I avoided spoilers for this book, considering it is so famous and well known and like there's even a television show about it. Like, I don't know how I know nothing about it, but I don't, and I think that that's definitely adding to the experience because I do not know what to expect. So yeah, I have got like over 100 pages left. This book is less than 300 pages and I'm currently like almost 100 pages in, so I've got like, you know, 200-ish pages left to read. My goal is to finish this book today. It's Saturday today. I think that this is the one that I want to focus on and read through and hopefully finish today. That would be the goal. But yeah, this is the second book on the TBR. Then the third and final book that I'm currently reading and that I want to read this weekend is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. I'm currently 58 pages into this book and it is quite a long book. I think it's over 500 pages, so I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this book this weekend, especially since I'm reading like 2 others, but I would like to potentially get like a little bit more into it. I'm loving this book so far. This is like the, I don't want to say spin-off series to These Violent Delights because it is its own series, but I would recommend reading These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends before you read this one. The one thing I will say about this book is there is so much politics and so much like world building and stuff like that, and like that's not a bad thing. Like, that's really good and it definitely does set it up to be a really good fantasy book and fantasy series and all of that, but it does make it a little bit harder to read. And I noticed that with These Violent Delights as well, you kind of need to push through like the first 100 pages to really get into the story and really get into the book. So that is kind of my goal, to like get past that point of initial world building and politics and stuff to get to like the actual plot, and I feel like once I get to that I will have no problem just flying through it and finishing it. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one as well. So yeah, those are the 3 books that I want to read this weekend. I am so excited about all of them. Welcome to the vlog. I am so excited for a cozy, fun, chill weekend of reading. Okay, it is now Sunday morning and I didn't end up giving you any reading updates yesterday, but I did end up reading quite a lot yesterday evening. But I ended up doing live reading sprints with Lucy on her channel from like 5 o'clock to like 8 o'clock, I think. We had so much fun and we read a lot. Oh my gosh, the lighting, but it's morning and there's sun. And then my best friend came over for dinner and we had a much needed gossip and debrief as well, so that was really fun. That was my evening and I just didn't give you any reading updates, but I have now read a lot more of Normal People. I'm now on page 182, so I've nearly read like another 100 pages. I really do not have that much left and I feel like I am just reading this really quickly, really flying through it. Basically, I love this book. I'm sure everybody and their mother has either read it, watched the show, or knows something about it, but it is so good. I don't even know what to expect from the rest of the book. I'm not predicting anything. It's a very unique book. Like, I've never read a book like this before because it's literally just like normal people, you know, like the clue is in the name. I was talking to Lucy yesterday because this is actually one of her favorite books, and she was saying that like some people complain that there's like no plot in the book, and like, yeah, but that's the point. Like, the title is Normal People. Like, it's not supposed to be like this plot driven, very exciting book. It's supposed to be just like mundane and like just like about normal people, and it's just really good. Like, I'm really hooked and I really did not think that I would be. I want to finish out the rest of this book this morning. I don't think it should be too hard to do because there's not that much left. I honestly probably could have finished it yesterday, but I was kind of too tired at the end of the day. But also another reason why I think I'm really liking this book is because I'm not necessarily reading it from like an intellectual point of view. Like, I'm not like looking into the writing styles and like, you know, analyzing it and being kind of, you know, big brain about it, which I feel like, I think that that's what turned me off the book initially, because I thought like it's one of those books that you kind of had to do that, but you don't, honestly. And I do not read books to be critical. I don't read books to be like analytical. I don't do that. That's not me. I read for the fun, I read for the vibes, and this book is both fun and vibes. The one thing about the writing style that I will say is that a lot of people like complain about the lack of quotation marks, and people say that that like turns them off the book, that she doesn't use quotation marks in her book. I actually don't mind it. It has not bothered me. I barely noticed it, honestly, and it actually makes like the conversation flow really well. And also, like, I think as well, because they use a lot of like Irish slang in this, I'm reading it in an Irish accent, and like the things that they say, I know how they're supposed to be said, if that makes sense. So like the writing style actually just really flows, so I don't mind the lack of quotation marks. I can see how maybe it would bother somebody, but I actually kind of like it. I don't know. So yeah, that is my update for right now. I'm 182 pages in. I am gonna go make a coffee and then I will probably finish out the rest of this book. If it is warm outside, I might sit outside. I don't know how warm it is though, so we'll see. But yeah, that is my update for right now, and I will get back to you later. I've now finished Normal People by Sally Rooney, and I am going to give you my final thoughts. I really liked this book. Like, I really did, much more than I was expecting. I was not expecting to like it at all, so it was definitely a pleasant surprise when I did really like it. I think that the writing style was really good. I loved the setting. I loved when they like mentioned places that I knew. They mentioned Hodges Figgis at one point, which is a bookshop in Dublin, and I actually filmed a video there. It was my come book shopping with me for my birthday video. I will link that vlog down below if you do want to go look, but it was just so fun to like read about a place that you've been and like places that you know. I don't have a huge amount to say about it. Like, I didn't really go into this book planning on being like critical or analysing it or anything like that, and I definitely didn't do that. I just read it for enjoyment and I did enjoy it. I ended up rating this book a 4 stars. Up to the halfway point I did think that it was going to be a 5 stars, but I definitely enjoyed the first half more than the second half, and I was kind of disappointed in the ending. I'm not going to spoil anything, I'm not going to say anything, but I really didn't like the ending. I don't like those type of endings, and it just, I'm not going to say it ruined the book because it didn't, and I think in the context of this book and these characters it was kind of fitting, but like also it's just not an ending that I enjoy. It's not like something that I really like to read about. I don't know, but like when I finish a book I want like a satisfying ending, and this book definitely did not have that. But that being said, again, like because of the plot of this book and the characters in this book, it does kind of make sense, as much as I don't want it to, but it kind of does make sense. So yeah, I really liked this book. I ended up giving it a 4 stars, and I've already started the TV show. I watched the first episode and I'm loving it. Like the parallels between the book and the show are amazing. Like there's some like direct quotes from it already, and I really love that, because I feel like this is a very easy book to like make a TV show out of, because the dialogue already kind of reads like a movie. I don't know if that makes sense, but it kind of does. There was a few quotes in here that literally broke my heart. Like they literally broke my heart. I didn't like fully annotate this book or anything, but I did underline a few quotes, because there definitely were a few quotes in there that like actually broke my heart. I think the saddest quote from the book would have to be, "Then we'd both be in Dublin," he says. "I bet you'd pretend you didn't know me if we bumped into each other." And then she says, "I would never pretend not to know you, Connell." That quote literally killed me. Like she was saying to him, "I would never pretend to not know you," literally in the middle of when he is pretending to not know her and like not wanting to be associated with her to ruin his reputation at school. Like it literally broke my heart into a million pieces. Something I really liked as well is like the parallels between like their status in secondary school and then their status like in college and towards the end of the book is like it completely flipped. And I think that it was so interesting to read about that, meaning like people who are like so popular in secondary school and people who kind of have a lot of these like friends but they're not really friends, that kind of thing, like how that kind of disappears. And like once you're not in like that school setting where there's such a, you know, a huge importance around like this hierarchy and like popularity and stuff like that, when you're not in that environment, how little that actually matters and how little that means about anything. My absolute favourite quote in the whole book is when Connell is talking and he says, "Marianne, I'm not a religious person, but I do sometimes think God made you for me." Come on, like that's just so cute, that's so romantic, and I just, yeah, I really loved it. I really did love it. So yeah, that's all I want to say for this book, but yeah, I really liked it and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. But yeah, right now I'm not actually sure what book I want to pick up. My other 2 current reads, The Summer of Broken Rules and Foul Lady Fortune, I'm not really feeling like picking up right now. But also because this year I've been reading for like quality over quantity, like I've literally read 25 books in this entire year and it's like the middle of August, compared to like last year when I had read like probably like 80 or 100 books at this point. But like I'm definitely enjoying the books that I've read a lot more this year than any other year. But also what I've noticed, when I finish a book, I kind of need to take a day before I move on to another book. I don't really like moving from book to book unless I'm doing like a readathon or something. So I'm not actually sure if I'm going to pick up another book tonight. We'll see. Obviously maybe later if I feel like reading something I might, or I might like pick a book on my Kindle or something. Right now I'm going to go edit and do a couple of other things, and then I will get back to you when I decide what book I'm going to pick up next. I think honestly I might go for a Kindle book next because I feel like I'm going to be reading like this evening. So yeah, that is the plan, that is the goal, and I will come back to you later when I have more reading updates. It's now 10 p.m. and I've just gotten into bed and I've like taken off my makeup, done my skincare, that kind of thing, and I'm now about to pick a book to read on my Kindle. I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet. I have a few downloaded that I'm really excited to get to, and I might also put like a YouTube video on in the background and just have like peak cozy vibes. Also, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I literally have like such a bad ear infection at the moment. Like I literally like perforated my eardrum, so I literally cannot hear out of my left ear right now, and it's been like that for the past week. And what I really miss is like putting headphones on to listen to music as I read, and I don't think I realized how much I did that until I couldn't wear my headphones. But I didn't realize how much I loved listening to like reading playlists while I read as much as I do. And also like when I'm on public transport, I can't like listen to music, and it's so strange, and it really made me realize how much I listen to music and how much I love music. Because honestly I don't know why this hypothetical question even came into my head, but the other day I was thinking like, if I had to give up books or give up music, which would I give up? And I'm like, I love both so much, but honestly I think I would give up books, because music is just music, you know, like I listen to it all the time, it's everywhere, it's so fun, it's so relaxing. Like I need music. I think I would rather give up books, honestly, which pains my heart. But like luckily this is a hypothetical question that I fully made up in my head and that like doesn't really even make sense, so I can literally keep books and music. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I will let you know which book I pick up on my Kindle, or maybe I'll watch another episode of Normal People. The options are honestly endless. Okay besties, so the book that I have started is Done and Dusted. I can't remember the author's name right now, but it is a cowboy yeehaw small town romance, and it's like 250 pages long, I think. So not saying that I'm gonna finish it all tonight, but that's a possibility for sure. Already it's like so much fun. Like I'm only like 2 chapters in, and this is like a best friend sister romance. Like our main character is the sister of the love interest's best friend. No, the sister of the love interest's best friend. Yeah, this is a small town romance, and also it's like they've known each other for a long time because the love interest is best friends with our main character's brother. And honestly I love that because this is like a shorter book as well, and I feel like the fact that they've known each other like literally their entire lives will make it way more believable because it is such a short book. And yeah, I'm really liking it so far. They already have like tension together because she hates him and he has never seen her as like anything other than his best friend's little sister until now. I've now read to the 70% mark of Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, and it's a very easy read. Like it's one that you can definitely keep turning the pages, and I literally just sat outside and read from like the 30% mark to the 70% mark in like maybe like an hour and a half, I think. So it's very easy to read, very fun. I'm definitely gonna try and finish it today because I feel like it's not one that like I'd like to keep going over like multiple days. I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star, but I think it could be a 4-star. Depends on how like the rest of the book goes. But I do really like the couple. I think that they're really good. I love the small town setting. I love like the kind of the family element to it because they're all so close. Also like Teddy as her best friend is just such an icon. I don't think it's like very memorable, but maybe my standard is just so high right now because I've read so many like of my new favorite books in like the past month. I have just finished Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, and I can't necessarily say that I loved this book. I didn't dislike it, but honestly I didn't really like it either. I think I'm going to give it a 3-star. Realistically maybe it is a 2.5, but I feel like maybe 2.5 is just a bit too harsh because I feel like half the reason I didn't like it is because I'm in a fantasy mood. This book just was not very memorable for me. Like I do fully think that like give me like a week and I won't really remember that I've read this book, which I really don't like to do, and that's why I've been kind of like taking my time with books and only picking books that I really think I will like. There's been so many good reviews for this book, so I would definitely say don't let my review turn you off of it because I know so many people have loved this book. And I think for me it was just maybe a case of the book was very short. It's like 250 pages I think, and I think to have a very believable romance in the space of 250 pages is quite hard. And also I feel like there wasn't much else to the book other than the romance, and that's just not for me. Also the nickname that he gave her was Sugar, and that just made me feel a bit sick. So all of those things together, I just didn't end up loving this book. Okay, I got interrupted because somebody was literally at my door, so I had to go answer that. But anyways, as I was saying, I actually don't have a lot else to say about this book. I read it, it was average, I didn't dislike it, I didn't like it. The love interest kind of gave me the ick. It's like he was trying too hard to be nice and to be like a green flag and to be a book boyfriend. Like he was just trying too hard, and that sounds so harsh and so mean. I don't know, maybe it's because I've read so many amazing books lately and like an amazing romance books. Like I read The Right Move like last week, and I feel like nobody will ever beat Ryan Shea for me, so I feel like maybe that's why I didn't love this as much, because he did not compare. But yeah, I read this book, it's done. I'm glad that I read it because I had been seeing a lot of hype for it and a lot of good reviews and stuff, so I'm really glad that I now have my own opinion on it. Even though I personally didn't love it, I would still kind of recommend it because it is a fun romance, and like if you're looking for a very easy to read short romance book, I would definitely, you know, recommend it if you wanted to give it a go. But yeah, I actually think I'm going to end this vlog right now because it is a weekend vlog and it is now after the weekend, so I'm gonna end this vlog here. I ended up reading 2 books this weekend, Normal People and Done and Dusted, which is really good. I gave Normal People 4 stars and I gave Done and Dusted 3 stars. Overall, really good reading weekend. And yeah, that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you read any of the books that I talked about today. If you watched to the end, comment the horse emoji. And yeah, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay amazing, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!